Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 18th ever episode of Press A2 Podcast. I'm your host, Jacob Hujik, and with me today is Taylor Severn.
We're 18 now, we're legal.
Brandon Williams.
You need to change the title of the podcast.
Refresh your page, and Scott.
Y'all don't know about Kevin?
Oh my goodness! No, shut up, stop. Quiet.
I like to think that's Scott's title now. Refresh your page, Scott.
It is his gamer tag. But yeah.
You didn't actually say hi, though.
Talking about Halo 5 today, a topic we're all very, very familiar with. The game
Are we?
released randomly. I was not aware that it was out until almost a week afterwards, which tells you everything about my excitement for this.
It just spontaneously came out of nowhere,
just,
right,
like,
guys?
There you go.
Like, it wasn't even announced, they just released it.
No one was expecting a Halo 5, and it just there you go. Surprise of the decade for the gaming space. So, guys, tell me. Well, I know your experience with Halo actually, because our first ever episode was on Halo, the whole franchise up to that point.
Oh, anniversary podcast!
Yeah, it's our anniversary.
Happy quasi-anniversary.
It is our anniversary. We missed it by a week. It was last week. So yeah, we thought we'd tackle Halo 5, and well, I'll let you guys talk. Brandon, Scott, Taylor, have you guys had any experience with Halo 5?
I'll start. No.
Have you watched any Halo 5?
No. Is Master Chief still in this?
Yes.
No.
Is he fighting the good fight?
Still fighting the good fight. Some may say not the good fight, but
Well, that's his enemy.
still fighting.
So I'm just going to say it. Brandon and Scott, you played it already.
Played and beaten it on Legendary. Together, actually.
So, oh my God, Scott, stop talking.
It sounds like you did a voice recorder where it, like, changed the pitch of your voice.
Please
like
stop.
from Toy Story.
That is terrifying. No, mute. Where's the mute? How do I mute?
Is that Master Chief? I'm hearing Master Chief. He's come to do the podcast with us.
He's here. He's definitely here.
But I wanted to ask, because you kind of alluded to it already, the first bit of controversy with this game. Some people were worried, or not worried, but were confused as to the story of it. Because it seems people were led to believe one thing about Master Chief's involvement in the game, and this actual story was pretty different. Can you guys speak to that?
I kind of have to disagree with all of that controversy, because almost every other mission you're playing as Master Chief.
So, like half the game.
Pretty much.
Okay.
People are kind of just stupid. Okay, maybe it's like 40% of the game, because maybe one mission you don't play as him.
Am I okay now?
One mission, and that's
You're
40%.
not okay. What is wrong with your mic?
It was perfectly fine earlier.
Until we started.
Yeah, of course.
Like, literally as soon as we started, guys. Scott, somehow...
Well, he was fucking around with something. I thought it was just like, his mouse or his cat. But
This is your cat's revenge.
It is. It's like, I'm a fuck with this guy.
But so like you do play as Halo, but I think what the issue was that I think people thought that Master Chief was going to be pursued more, whereas in this it's just like, oh yeah, we're on the same side. Let's just work together.
Well, not quite. Like, you play as another squad who is essentially hunting down Master Chief. And, well, because Master Chief has gone rogue and he's after Cortana.
Mm-hmm.
So if you know what happened back in Halo 4, where Cortana becomes, well, dead, basically. But she dies to
crazy,
save
but okay.
Master Chief and ends up on, like, another planet or some shit. I kind of forget Halo 4 ending, but...
So she dies,
worst.
but is alive on another planet. Gotcha.
Yeah, it's some robot shit, you know? They get away with anything. They're robots. Since, you know.
But so he is being pursued?
Yeah, he's being pursued by this other squad, and you play as that other squad, chasing after him and his team, basically. A team he's ran with since he's became a Master Chief.
Yeah.
There's some backstory and stuff in there. Oh,
So there are
it's
other
working.
squadrons now. Hey, you're working.
Am I?
Great Scott!
Oh my god,
Jesus
it works.
Christ.
Okay.
I don't know what just happened. All my USB things just like every port on my laptop.
You
like,
need
just,
to get a StarCraft Pylon USB port.
You need
what
to
you
get
do.
a fuck you.
I have many of those. But okay, so
I just wanted to comment and say that that was incorrect. How Halo 4 ended.
Would you like
Then
to
please enlighten me because I completely forget.
So you
too many beers?
you push the Didact into the abyss thingy, like into the big energy bubble thing, and kill him, and then Cortana kind of like fades into like the it's kind of like the Matrix kind of thing, like it's kind of because she's going rampant. So because like AIs only last about they're only supposed to last about 7 years, and she was an 8-year-old AI at that time. So she's kind of going rampant. So then she kind of went away into the it was into like the Forerunners system, but so they kind of got split up, and that's how Halo 4 ended. And then I think a lot of the story confusion didn't come from the fact that you don't play as Chief. I think it was because like I don't know, like me in particular, and I feel like other people shared this view, was like I felt like Master Chief was supposed to be like bad, or he went like
Rogue or
something
something.
happened to but it was just like he failed to report for duty one day, so they sent Osiris after him to get him back.
Yeah, see, they really don't mention any of that, which kind of doesn't make sense. You're kind of just thrown into this game, and you're like, I'm chasing Master Chief.
No, it does. It absolutely does. So you play it. You do the first mission as Osiris, where you save Halsey, and then and then you do the second mission as Chief, and that's when you get that vision from Cortana after you fall, and she tells him about Meridian, that she tells him to go to Meridian. So
Meridian City? That's like right next to the starting zone.
Oh my god.
Meridian.
The Prime Meridian.
Shit. Anyway, so Meridian Station, so which is an old UNSC colony that was like long abandoned. So then what happens is then they tell Chief to come back after he's done his mission, which is to which was to secure a station, but he ends up blowing it up because it was just overrun with Covenant.
Mm-hmm.
So after he was done that, he was supposed to go back and go back to the Infinity to report to Lasky and that, but he goes after Cortana instead. And Halsey is like you have to make sure that Cortana gets destroyed because
Yeah, because she's gone rampant and she's gonna kill the fucking world.
Well, she's not rampant anymore though, because she cured it with going into that system, right?
I don't believe it. That's new.
But
Cured AI rampancy.
But as like you're playing, you still believe that she's rampant and trying to
she's just
destroy
insane.
everything.
She's just like power hungry, pretty much what it is. It's like she thinks what she's doing is
right.
But what she's just doing is she's pretty much wants to control the universe, and everyone's gonna be controlled by AIs, and they're gonna make sure that there's no more infighting, no more war, that kind of stuff. But it's gonna be by controlling people. And Chief's just like that. You can't and then Chief's going after Cortana, and Locke going after Chief, and then they kind of start working together about halfway through the game.
Okay.
And it was kind of just I guess that's cool, but I wanted to see some really and there was a scene where Locke fights Chief, but I wanted to see I wanted to see them butting heads the whole game. I didn't want to see them punch each other a couple times, and and then they hug the next scene.
Right, if they could have met up a couple more times in the story, and just battled it out.
Yeah,
that would have been amazing.
And I feel
all the trailers was made it feel like you have to choose a side, Locke's side or Chief's side, but in the end they're on the same side, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I feel that's exactly it. I think is the issue that people had with it, and I feel like the story kind of suffered for it as well, because people were expecting that, and then the story that they got was just
Yeah, it was kind of like just like it was a cool story, but it wasn't as cool as it could have been, like as they kind of alluded it to be. But I don't know why they didn't stick.
I don't know. I have to say that Halo 4 story was probably one of my favorites.
Really?
Halo.
Was it
Yeah.
just was it just because
I don't know.
of
I liked it more
Was it-
than Halo 5.
was it because of the dynamic between
You liked Halo-
Master
oh.
Chief and Cortana, or was it something deeper?
No, that was exactly it.
Yeah, I mean, because
What you
like
just said.
that's the core, like those are the two core characters that have been through
Yeah.
every game like together constantly, and that's like was their story. So I could definitely see why that would be your favorite.
Yeah, but I liked seeing I mean, obviously Locke and
I did enjoy playing as like Team Osiris because like that whole story with them is kind of cool.
Yeah, and it's kind of cool what happens with like Edward Buck because like he was the main character from Halo 3 ODST that you play as. He was the main ODST soldier that you play as in that game, and it's kind of cool to see him resurface all of a sudden as part of this elite Spartan team.
Sorry, it was Locke.
No, Buck.
Buck,
Edward
sorry.
Buck. Yeah,
That's
and he's
actually
not
really
even the
cool.
leader of Osiris.
I played
He's
that
like
game.
He's just one of the guys.
That's pretty cool.
yeah, he's just like one of the teams, and he's played by the guy who is Castle from the TV show. But
Oh, for Nathan Fillion.
yeah,
Nice.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Don't know who that is.
Nathan Fillion is from Firefly.
Oh,
He's the captain.
yeah, that's who plays Buck.
People love
in
him.
Halo 5. But yeah, like it was kind of cool just to see that, and like obviously you can only have Master Chief in so many games before it's kind of just like
I like how they're trying to transition away from him. It's a shame because like I feel like Halo is just going to become one of those series that always comes out like Call of Duty, and they need to get rid of their soap. But at least they're they're doing it with like new characters and actually trying to introduce people before they're starring in a game. Alrighty, so in your guys' opinion, the Halo 5 story is just kind of like, it's
I
alright.
liked it better than I liked Halo. Okay, so I don't know. Halo 5 as a game, as a story,
No, as a board game.
yeah.
No.
Go.
No, I meant like as a game in whole, like every aspect of it, multiplayer, campaign, everything. Halo 5 as a game is much better than 4 in my opinion, but not as
Oh, I
good
agree.
as 3. It
No,
kind
3
of
was-
it kind of like that's where it kind of falls. It kind of goes like you got 1, which is really good, 2, which is really good. Then you got 3, and then you kind of got like ODST in there, and then 5, because 4 was like, especially multiplayer wise, 4 was kind of a pretty big letdown.
Really?
Yep. I
Yeah.
agree at least.
What was the big letdown about 4 that they changed in 5?
Exactly.
So in 4 they had all these different like
The loadouts.
yeah, well, not the loadouts, but they had all these like armor abilities, and they were kind of cool.
Yeah.
Kind of like something they brought back from Reach, which they had like armor lock and stuff, but not armor lock. They had other things, like a regeneration field and that kind of thing, and it's kind of cool, but
That regen
it
field.
kind-
Bullshit.
it kind of made like I don't know, it kind of just took away a lot from multiplayer. And like in 5 they kind of took out a lot of it. They only left in like stuff from Halo 3, like overshield, cloaking. They have overshield, cloaking, and there's like a damage buff one that's on a couple of the multiplayer maps too. So I thought it was just cool because it was more, they kind of brought back Halo 3, like they kind of brought back aspects of Halo 3 multiplayer a lot, which was probably one of the best multiplayer games for Halo.
Agreed.
One of the best,
Okay.
like kind of their leading game for multiplayer. I think that's where a lot of people got into multiplayer in Halo, was probably 3.
So they just like tried an experiment and it didn't really work out.
Yeah, it kind of like Reach was really good, but then they took the good stuff from Reach, took it out in 4, added some other stuff that wasn't as good in 4, and then that's kind of how they left it. But I don't know. I don't think it did very well, in my opinion, anyway. Like I still played it, but not nearly as much as I played 3, and I've already played 5 more than I've played 4.
I was gonna say I've already played more multiplayer on Halo 5 than I have in
Wow.
4.
And that's mostly due to the new game type they added, which is called Warzone.
I
which
really
is-
haven't
well,
played much of that.
Well, I've probably
You
played
have,
about
yeah.
40 something games of Warzone, and it's 12v12. And there's so what it is there's 5 bases. There's each team has a core, and then there's 3 bases. And if you hold all 3 of the middle bases, you expose the other team's core, and you have to destroy it. And that's the objective of the game.
It's not only
or-
12v12. There's also
Yeah,
there's
there's
also
AI.
AI characters.
Yeah,
like,
there's like
if
Covenant
you ever
or
played Titanfall, you know how there's like it's like
And this
6v6
is just
plus.
a separate mode within.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. Did you guys enjoy that? Like, how do you enjoy that kind of gameplay? Where
I think it's
like,
fucking awesome.
I think it's really cool, yeah. And they added like a whole added this like requisition system, where like, as you progress into the game, you can use better equipment and vehicles and stuff like that. And or like if the team
As you progress in a match, not
Yeah.
the game.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean that's it almost sounds like they're taking. Well, first of all, with the with that, having the AI controlled characters in the matches, well, at least for that one game mode, it almost sounds like it's a good idea because like that helps bring in like what you've experienced from the single player, which so many of the people play. Like, it's not like Call of Duty where people either play the single player or play the multiplayer. In Halo, it's always like you do both. Most people.
Yeah, most of the time. Yeah.
So it's nice that they're introducing something that's kind of familiar from the single player, which is like all the AI enemies,
Yeah.
like the grunts and stuff.
Yeah, and it's neat because like there's like there's bosses that spawn at certain points during the games of Warzone, and like you pretty much want to get to 1,000 points.
Yeah.
The first team to 1,000, or if you destroy the other team's core. Those are like the ways to win.
Or there's optional objectives to win. Like if you can hold out until, what's that guy called?
Exodia.
Warden.
The Warden. Yeah, if you can hold out until the Warden comes, and you're on the losing end of the team, or losing end of the teams.
I don't think you win if you.
No, you don't directly win, but you gain a fuck ton amount of points.
Isn't it only? It's 150. It's a legendary boss, right?
I thought it was 250.
I know that. So there's legendary bosses and common bosses. Common bosses give you 25 points, I think. Spartan kills only give you like 1 or 2 points.
Sorry, and this is in those multiplayer maps?
Yeah,
This is in
the
Warzone, yeah. So there's like little bosses that spawn. Like there'll be like an elite on a ghost that spawns, and if you kill him, you get 25 points for your team. And then there'll be legendary bosses. There's 3 legendary bosses in each match if it goes that long. And killing each one gives you 150 points. So it can swing the tide of the battle, even if you only hold one of the 3 bases. And you can keep killing those bosses, you can still win the game. So it's not always about trying to hold all the bases. Sometimes it's just about trying to take out the bosses instead.
That's an interesting. I mean, like Call of Duty Halo has always been like just about like team deathmatch basically.
Mhm. Yeah.
It's
Slayer,
cool that they're
And
introducing
CTF.
almost a completely new. Like I can't think of another shooter game that does something similar to that, and it's smart of them too because that honestly, what I was thinking when I was hearing you describe it is MOBAs. It sounds like a League
Yeah.
of Legends or something.
I was almost
Sorry,
gonna interrupt and say it's very MOBA-like.
Exactly, like you were saying, you level up during the course of a match.
Yep.
There's creep minions, there's boss minions that help you gain objectives and stuff like that. It actually sounds pretty cool. I'm more intrigued than I was earlier.
It's actually a
about that.
really fun game mode that they introduced, and a really good way to get someone who doesn't play a lot of multiplayer into multiplayer, because it incorporates aspects like you would do in story mode, like go to this, take this base, kill these bosses, and proceed.
That's pretty cool. And have you guys been enjoying that mode more than Team Deathmatch, even if just because it's
I like it both. Like,
newer?
I have mostly because I can even enjoy playing it more by myself with 11 randoms, because the chances of you getting matched up with people that actually know what they're doing are higher just because you're playing with more people on a team. Whereas
Yeah.
when you go into arena, which is 4v4 or 5v5 or whatever.
4v4.
4v4 gameplay. If you're going in by yourself with a bunch of randoms, the chances that you can get matched up against a full team and then you get put with 3 people that have no idea what they're doing are very high. So it kind of goes like, and they brought back the ranking system from like Halo 3, where you actually have to win games to rank up,
Mm-hmm.
like to the higher ranks. So it brought back that like that must win mentality that wasn't in 4, that wasn't in Reach, that wasn't in any of the games since 3.
Yeah,
Pretty cool.
going back to like just multiplayer in general, like Warzone, that is a really good game to play if you just want to kill some time, like playing by yourself. Warzone is the game to play. Like you really don't want to go into arena mode and play any of those game modes that are in the arena by yourself.
Unless you're like super amazing and you can carry a team by yourself, which I can't.
Yeah, but even then it's like super frustrating. Well, it can be.
It is, but I mean, like, if you're
Trust
one of those
me.
people that's gonna get like 30 kills every game, you're just the amount of games you're gonna lose are just not gonna be that low. They're
Yeah,
not
because
gonna
once you get to your rank, you have to play 10 games to get ranked, and then once
Yeah.
you get ranked, the only way to improve your rank is to win games. And to win games, you really need a team. Unless you're playing on the lower ranks, where it's usually just a bunch of randoms playing together,
Sure.
and they're like, yeah,
Interesting.
like in one of the game modes is SWAT, where it's headshots only, and I'm ranked in Diamond, and trying to get matched in a team that knows what they're doing
a
is
random
impossible.
team? Yeah.
Yeah, random team.
Also the spawns in SWAT are really broken right now, so they
Oh, yeah, they
343's been working on that.
There's
Because
like
it's
two maps.
one-shot
that are-
headshots. It's like one-shot headshots, so like so you can just keep getting spawn killed over and over and over and over and over again.
That sucks. I actually had two questions. One about the matchmaking. I didn't realize that. I mean, I come from more of a StarCraft background, and the matchmaking in that game it's one of the reasons why that game is so good. How long has Halo been doing a matchmaking system
Halo
like
3
that?
has been like
Long
that.
time.
Halo
Really?
3 was like that, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And has
Um,
it, like, does it generally give you pretty good matches?
Yeah,
Yes.
but the thing about Halo 3, and I don't know if it's in Halo 5, but what happened in Halo 3 was it went off whoever was the leader of the party's level.
Yeah.
So if you were super high ranked and you were playing with a bunch of your friends that weren't as high, they'd get put against a bunch of people who were much better than them. But if you put your lowest rank guy as your party leader, it matched you up against those ranks, and you could just stomp all over them.
Man, that was so fun.
So I think Halo 5's matchmaking is a lot smarter. I think it looks at the whole fire team and like averages it out.
It does. It looks at the entire fire team and doesn't average it out. It finds the
it's-
highest ranked person and puts you in a game mode with those
Yeah, that's true.
with
yeah.
that
it
with
doesn't
that
matter.
rank.
Yeah.
Like if you have someone in your fire team that's Onyx rank, which is the second highest rank you can get
Isn't it
next to
highest?
champion. No, well,
Oh,
technically
champion,
it is,
well,
but champion is the
champions,
highest, which is the top
yeah.
200 players in that playlist,
in the world?
and Onyx
yeah.
is the top 2,000 players.
So realistically, Onyx is as high as
Technically.
anybody who's not like semi-pro or pro is gonna get.
Yeah, but if you have someone in your fire team that's Onyx,
You're
you
gonna
have a
fight
chance
Onyx
of getting
people?
matched up with other Onyx players or even champion players,
Really?
even if you're in a bronze or a silver league.
Okay.
Yeah.
That doesn't seem. I mean, that actually sounds better than like putting whatever the party leader is.
Yeah.
Yep, it matches it a lot better.
But it also kind of sucks because, like, if you're playing with a bunch of people who all enjoy different game types, so, like, some people are ranked higher in different ones and then other ones, it kind of sucks because then you're always getting put against people who are much better than you in the game type that you're not as good at.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
that's a plus and a minus for the arena mode that's put in.
The cool thing about arena mode is they have a game type called arena, and it's a combination of Slayer, Capture the Flag, Breakout, which is a new game type, Strongholds, which is a new game
How
type.
does it combine them?
It just randomizes the playlist.
It's just a random
Okay.
selection of
Randomized
game type.
playlist. Yeah. It takes like all of the best maps, all of the best game types, or like pretty much all of the game types minus SWAT, into
Which they
one
should have.
playlist, and it just randomizes. So you can play. You get a good mixture of a bunch of game types, different maps, that kind of thing. So that's mostly what I play, because it's just like I don't like playing the same game type over and over and over and over again just to like level myself up. So it's fun to. I mean, and it happens in the arena where you'll play Slayer 6 times in a row, but at least you have a chance at playing a different game type, right? Like, because
Yeah.
like I really wish they actually had like a capture the flag game type. I'm kind of surprised.
Yeah,
that
they don't have a CTF playlist,
which is like a
I'm
Halo
pissed about.
classic.
Yeah.
It's a Halo classic. Like
So the only way to
CTF
play it is to
goes
set up
back
a
all the way
custom
back
game.
to Halo 1. Yeah, Halo, like CTF goes all the way back to Halo 1, right? Like it was like Slayer and CTF, and that's pretty much it.
I think the last question I had about the multiplayer before we get onto more like fluff topics is how often has 343 balanced the game? Like if there turns out there's like a weapon that's too powerful or a map that doesn't. You were saying that there was a spawn cap issue.
It
To be
hasn't
honest,
happened
they haven't
yet.
balanced it yet, but it doesn't feel
Unbalanced.
unbalanced.
Yeah,
Like
no,
I think they did so much playtesting before this game actually came out that they worked out all the kinks in multiplayer before it actually launched. Like they had a pretty diverse beta test too, which lasted for almost a month, I think. It was at least a couple weeks. And that was back in July, and it was open to a lot of people. Plus, I know they brought in a lot of pros from like ELS and stuff,
Yeah.
and they had them like hash out all the details and stuff.
It's refreshing to hear that a company actually went through that much testing before the game comes out, because you hear so often about like, I mean, the game I'm playing right now is Heroes, and I mean, I love that game, but there's
that
patch
type
balances.
of game in general, like Leagues, is the same thing.
I guess
right?
that's true, but I mean, I'm just trying to think. Like in Call of Duty, back when I was playing that, there would be patch notes every now and then.
Yeah.
Like they would tweak the
Yep.
weapons or whatever.
There were some glitchy guns.
I mean, it's the
always.
same thing with Destiny. Destiny's multiplayer, they glitch like, or
Same
I
thing.
mean, they update it
Yeah,
weekly.
there's
but
a lot
I
of
mean, multiplayer
unbalance.
doesn't always
There's
get
been a
updated.
lot of different unbalanced things throughout that game too. But yeah, no, I mean Halo though has always been a franchise where it's kind of like it kind of drops you in with guns and stuff, and it's like this is it, and it's never really been like patched or anything. Like they might patch glitches in the maps, like if
But the
people
guns are pretty
find
balanced.
yeah, like
Very
because
balanced.
you get an overshield and health, right? And
How often do they add new gun archetypes to the game?
New gun, what?
Or like, because as far as I remember, like in the games there was the combat rifle, and then they added like the 3-burst rifle, and then there was like the
Oh,
alligator
well.
looking gun from Halo Reach, I think it was.
they have like multiples of every weapon now.
Okay.
So there, because especially it's something that mostly applies in Warzone again, because there's these things called rec packs, and you can get these rare versions of these guns, which are like upgraded versions of them. So like there's like 3 different plasma pistols. There's only one Magnum, but like there's a bunch of different SMGs, a bunch of different battle rifles, a bunch of different DMRs, which is the single shot rifle, a bunch of different assault rifles that have
Okay,
like
yeah.
different attachments and like uses. Like there's some of them are like anti-vehicle, some of them are just stuff like that.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Yeah, so
and they all like work slightly differently. They're not just like. That's pretty cool.
mhm.
And it's awesome to hear that they balanced all of them.
Yeah, like I
Um,
haven't come across anything that just like is the end all. There's no like end all weapons. So
Speaking of end-alls,
scorpions
I
are.
hear that there is a character you meet in the story who will end you in one hit, and you will fight him multiple times because he's a
The Warden?
boss character. Yeah.
Yeah, the Warden Eternal. Yeah.
So what did you think about him? Because I've heard a lot of people basically bitching about how hard it was to get through those fights,
Okay, so
especially the last one apparently.
I my first run through of the story was on Legendary by myself. And sure, those fights, they were frustrating and it wasn't because they were hard, it was because the AI were stupid.
Oh yeah, because you have teammates, right?
Yeah, you get 3 teammates and you don't just die when you take enough damage to die, you just go down.
And they
Like
have to
you're
revive you.
incapacitated and they have to revive you. The problem is if you're like half on a ledge or like you're like elevated a bit on a rock, the AI will just stare at you and watch you die. Yeah, they're just like and they just stand there and they don't move or like anything like that. They're
sucks.
really, really, really dumb.
Will you game over if one of them gets killed? Okay, well there's at least that.
Yeah.
Because I hear that the final.
But there's like a 1 minute respawn on waiting for people to come back, so you really want to revive people when you can.
I hear that there's the final fight with him. There's 5 of him, and it's like just
Three.
Like, 3.
3. And it's not bad. If you go in well equipped with the right weapons and you know how to kill them, it's really not that bad. Especially if you go in co-op. Like if you go in with 3 people, like 3 human control players, they're not even that hard really. It's just the hardest part of the fight is just to be aware of what's happening around you. Like while you're fighting one, you get shot in the back by another one, but that's why you shoot them a few times. And then you just run. You keep an eye on it and everything. It's really not a hard fight. People just don't know how to play Halo.
Well, I mean, you're pretty experienced with Halo. Brandon, did you have any problems with that boss fight? And he's gone.
I played through the campaign with him. We did co-op. I don't know a whole lot of other people who've done solo legendary yet, but like in our group anyway, I'm sure.
I don't know anyone lead enough to do that, so.
I'm sure there's tons of people out there who had it done before I did.
Yeah.
But, like I just don't know a whole lot of people who've gone out because they're like, oh look, it's 4-player co-op, which is something that hasn't been in every Halo game. It's only been in.
4-player co-op seems pretty fun. Is it local? Sorry, I don't know.
No, there's no couch co-op in Halo 5 at all. So it's all online, which is unfortunate.
That really does suck because that's the only way I've ever experienced
That's
Halo.
probably my biggest grief with the game is that you can't that was one of the big draws of Halo is you have a bunch of friends over and you play split screen multiplayer, you play the campaign together, whatever it was, and it's something they took out of the game, and I have no idea why they took it out of the game.
It might be a performance issue. They might just be trying to weed it out because it puts a strain on on the performance of the game.
And what I have to say is about 343 taking over Halo is that one thing I've noticed with Halo 4 and this game is that it's much more cinematic. Like Halo cinematics have always been cool.
Yeah.
But these ones are like the cinematics are much longer and they're much more like pretty much both of the new games that 343 have made have ended in cinematics. There's been no boss fight, no no driving sequence that's near and dear to like that was in 1, 2, or 3. They all of a sudden now it's just like hold forward or mash a button and watch a cutscene and that's how the game ends.
Interesting.
And I mean, and right before that, both games 4 and 5, there's been you go into this big area and you have to clear enemies.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're just in this big open area and you just got to kill a bunch of stuff, and then it puts you into this cutscene, and it's not a bad end to the game. It's just kind of like it's not a Halo end to the game. Like like everyone is like we're like the Halo 1, Halo 2, Halo 3 all had driving sequences at the end of it, and those are the games that kind of like icon those were the big 3 of the
that's what you remember from the ending.
Yeah, and like even ODST had a driving part right at the end of the game. It was it was a driving and then hold out for
that one had a very, very, very interesting ending just because
it was a cool game. Like ODST was also fun, but then and I'm trying to think of how Reach. Oh no, Reach had where you jumped in the huge like Gauss cannon or whatever it was, and you shot like phantoms out of the sky, and so that was awesome. That was a really cool ending too. But then like 343 made Halo much more cinematic, and it looks awesome. Like, and the cinematics are really cool.
Yeah. And
it's like such a well done game, but
I feel like it's just because of the shift in studio. Like they wanted to put their own stamp on it.
Yeah, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just different, and people got to get used to it.
Yeah.
Because now this is what Halo's gonna be now, right? But.
Yeah, at least until the next game where the studio will switch again.
Probably not.
You're not expecting 434 Studio to take over?
No. The only reason that it took over to begin with is because Bungie went over to Sony.
Alrighty.
Do you think 343 has learned from Halo 4 to make Halo 5 better?
Absolutely, yeah. I'm 100% positive that they took feedback from the community and they put that, and like Brandon was saying, they took pro tips from they took tips from pro players and for the multiplayer aspects, and they used all that information, not necessarily directly put it into the game, but they definitely used it to kind of like mold the game, and you can see it in the game. It's a very smoothly put out game.
That's really good to hear. I mean, because like 343 had some big shoes to fill after Bungie left.
Oh, absolutely.
4 might not have been an amazing game, but at least they're learning. So, I mean, hopefully 6 will be just like one of the best Halos that ever come out.
Hopefully.
Rule of
And
thirds.
I mean, Halo 6 also introduces the next Halo ring. It's gonna have to do with the next Halo ring. So
Finally, because it's been a while.
yeah, there's 7 rings and we've only seen 2. Well, this is the second one because 1, 2, and 3 were all about the same Halo ring,
Yeah.
right? Because you destroy
Our
it in 2, I think, or whatever, and then in 3 it gets rebuilt, and then you destroy it again in 3, the same Halo ring, and
Sorry,
then
just refresh my memory. Are all the rings individual Apocalypse devices? Spoilers. Or do all of them activate in order to bring about?
they are all individual. They have a huge radius, and what it does is it wipes off all sentient life
Yeah.
in that area.
Okay.
They were built originally to combat the flood.
Yeah.
So another cool thing is we might see the flood back in Halo 6, which would be really cool.
Were they wiped out in Halo 3?
Yes, but again, there's a lot of ways they could get around
of
it.
course, you can always rewrite it.
Because like the way they even described the flood, it's like one single flood spore can destroy a species. So the chances that you destroyed every single
Spore,
essence of
yeah.
all of the flood is very unlikely.
I
So
think they left that open for a reason.
yeah,
Okay.
you did destroy a grave mind in Halo 3, but there could be more than one too. So
Interesting. Are there any topics you really wanted to bring up, or could I get into the more of the fluff pieces?
I mean, the only thing that I would bring up is, like I was saying, about the multiples of each gun. I think it was a really cool thing, because they kind of like they made these guns to suit players' styles as well, right? Like, so another thing they added into Halo for mechanically is left trigger to aim down sights, which has never been a thing in Halo. It's never been aim down sights. It was always been a
from the
fire game. Yep. And they finally added it, and it's called Smart. It was called Smart Link, and it's called Smart Link in the game. And like they also added like ground pound and shoulder charge to the game, which was also really cool. Like they added little cool things like that, like just other ways to.
I saw a ground pound like launch a tank into the air. The physics in Halo has always been interesting.
Well, yeah. I mean, the physics in a lot of games are wacky at best. Like ragdoll and stuff like that's always been funny. But yeah, I just think it's really cool. Like there's a sniper specifically made so that when you get shot, you don't get knocked out of Smart Link. Like it's just really cool that they kind of like, or they put like a silenced assault rifle so you don't appear on the radar when you shoot it. So they put like so.
Yeah, it's almost like perks from Call of Duty. Just
Gameplays, right?
Exactly.
Like styles.
Is there a sniper rifle that gets a damage boost if I spin around first?
and don't Smart Link.
There's no trick shot snipers that I know of. It would be really cool, but
Only
alright.
champions get it.
Only champions get it.
So I am curious, what are your guys' favorite weapons from the newest Halo?
Oh, I haven't even gone to use them all yet, to be honest.
Do you have a least?
I don't
favorite?
have a single
I-
one of them.
I do actually. Okay, so my least favorite addition. So something that I liked about Halo 4 that they took away in Halo 5 is they changed 2 of the Promethean guns. They changed the incineration cannon. They changed the binary rifle. The binary rifle used to be a sniper of death in Halo 4. It was just one shot. And what they made it in Halo 5 was they made it like you have to hold it on the target, like it beams, and you have to hold it there for a second to kill the target. And I didn't like that. Like I thought it should have just been like just a super powerful just obliteration sniper. And then the incineration cannon, now you have to charge it like the Spartan laser. Like you can shoot it, you can just tap it, but it just shoots these little like things that
Pithy
don't.
things, yeah.
Yeah, and if you want to get the full blast out of it to take down like vehicles and stuff, you have to hold it there for a couple seconds, and chances are you're gonna die while you're doing that. So I don't know. That's probably
Same thing with the plasma cannon.
that would probably be my least favorite addition. Um, my it's hard to say. I've always been a battle rifle person.
Yeah.
I would probably like my go-to has always been the battle rifle. I've gotten a bunch of different versions of it already, and but other than that, like I've always been ranged weapons. Battle rifle, sniper. Those are always my go-tos for everything. So
Okay.
for
Brandon, what about you?
Definitely BR. I'm the exact same. Battle rifle all the way.
I remember fighting
I also
you.
I also will never skip a chance to hop into a vehicle. Whether it's a ghost, a scorpion, a wraith, whatever it is.
As will I, because that shit is fun.
It's just fun, yeah.
Alrighty. Then I think my last question would be, what is your favorite addition to the game? Not just from 4 to 5, but from all of them to now. Is there something that you're really, really happy with?
Honestly, it's got to be the Warzone game type. It really does. Like, I feel like it's just such a good multiplayer experience. It's because it's not super competitive. It's more of a casual play style because there's no ranking system. You just kind of play. If you win, you get more experience and more rec points. If you lose, you get less. And that's really the only deficit. There's no it's a much more laid back game style, which Halo has never really had. Halo multiplayer has always been very ranked.
Super competitive.
Yeah,
Very
so
competitive.
it's kind of nice, and just how different it is from
Anyways, Brandon, what about you?
Well, no, I was completely agreeing with Warzone.
Yeah, honestly,
Like
just
that-
from what you guys have said, that sounds really, really cool. Okay, so Warzone, that's my vote too, considering I haven't played the game.
I mean, that's the real only new thing they've done with it.
Yeah.
It's basically just a new story and new multiplayer.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, that's what every Halo is, but it sounds like
Yeah.
they did a pretty decent job, so good for them. I guess we're gonna have to do this with Scott gone, but I think that pretty much wraps us up. So while we're here, I want to say first off, thank you for watching. If you'd like to leave any comments, criticisms, or suggestions for the show, please leave it either in the comment section wherever you're watching this, or you can always reach out to us at pressapodcast@gmail.com. You can leave all your notes there. We do this show every Thursday now. We've changed the day. It's going to be every Thursday. It will be a stream at least. The podcast is every 2 weeks, and the in-between weeks is just us streaming games, and we'll also be streaming during the random weekdays as well. We might be doing some Cho'Gall episodes soon for Heroes. We're not the only thing that this group does. Brandon, do you want to talk about your thing?
I stream all kinds of different games, sometimes with these guys, sometimes not. You can get me at the link above, xblackhawk19x.
Yeah, and everyone's
Twitch
face
TV.
just got huge.
Hey, even mine.
Even your non-existent face. And then Taylor, are you still pimping things?
Is it that dead?
I gotta ask at this point.
I run a YouTube channel with my friends called Views and Throughs. We're in a bit of a hiatus right now, just trying to figure some things out on the back end. We should be doing some stuff soon, like this weekend. I will probably put out some Overwatch shit.
Nice, you son of a bitch. Yeah, I have been missing your guys' content, so hopefully that gets sorted out soon. For our last member, Scott is actually getting into some streaming. Unfortunately, I do not know his channel name.
It is Macpherson, MACF34R.
Boo.
Is it because he likes Apple so much?
It is indeed.
Yes.
Or does he fear Apple?
No. It's his fear of the apple.
Ah, okay.
I fear Apple as well. Okay, great. So you can catch him there. I'll make sure to add that to his little nameplate above his face. Thanks for joining us again, guys. Hope you enjoyed that, and we will leave off with a have fun and good luck. Do 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 do.